Namaste everyone, Jai Gurudev. The topic of mental health is as relevant today in this world of technological advancements as it was probably thousands of years ago. The wisdom of yoga is born in a civilization where even the most difficult and most challenging time is seen just as an opportunity to learn and grow. In fact, yoga was taught in the middle of a battlefield by Lord Krishna to Arjuna over 5,000 years ago. So, Bhagavad Gita expounds various methods of working with the mind. Starting from Arjuna's depression, the Bhagavad Gita takes us beautifully step by step on the pathway from depression to freedom. And, this freedom comes from yoga. All the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are named yoga, means union. Yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, which means to unite, yoke. Yoga is union of body, mind, and spirit. Yoga is maintaining equanimity within, and then also being able to have the skill in action outside so that we are able to lead a very fulfilling life. Yoga is not just some sort of physical exercise. Yoga is a science to determine the nature of who we truly are and who we potentially can be. So this is my favorite story that I tell everyone on almost all my seminars. So once there was a gentleman who came to a doctor complaining that there was something severely wrong with him and every part of his body was aching. So the doctor performed all necessary checkups and found nothing wrong with the gentleman. Doctor said, there is nothing wrong with you. Why don't you go to the circus and watch the clown there? He will make you laugh and he may be able to help you. So the gentleman thought to himself for a while and then turned to the doctor and he said, Doctor, I am that clown. So, it is one thing to entertain others and be humorous, but it's quite another to be happy yourself. Happiness does not come by a talent or by mood making. Unless one realizes, who am I? And what is the nature of this consciousness? Happiness and peace will remain a very far-fetched reality for us. The spirit of self-inquiry, which eventually leads to meditation, is absolutely essential in this quest for happiness. And in our pursuit of happiness, all our life, we chase after so many external pomp and show, adulations. We try to fix many, many things in our outer world and very few inside. And without knowing that the real source of the highest of joy lies somewhere within us as us. Just like how every hurricane has an eye, the center where things are very calm. Yoga can take us to this calm, peaceful center where we can witness and observe the obstacles that stand between me and my best self. Today, our understanding of outer world is growing, and fortunately, the understanding of the inner world as well. And when it comes to understanding the mind, I must say the ancient seers and the masters in India had an elaborate framework, to make sense of the subtle world, which is being validated today by modern science. So the Yoga Sutras, they talk about a very well-defined step-by-step approach to identifying first, then understanding and managing the various mental conditions. The Yoga Sutras talks about obstacles and their removal, giving very specific techniques towards achieving a balanced mental state. And yoga doesn't stop there. Yoga goes a step further. The propounder of yoga, Maharshi Patanjali says very beautifully that the purpose of yoga is to get rid of misery even before it appears. Heyam dukkham anagatam. It's just like how we install an antivirus software on our computers the moment we purchase them. So practices of yoga has relevance not just for people in various stages of disease or depression, but also for those who are likely to fall sick. Everyone is vulnerable: children, adults, and people from all walks of life. So we need to highlight these aspects of yoga for preventing depression rather than only curing it later. Normally in the modern science, until the body shows symptom of sickness, we do not consider that person sick. Whereas in yoga, we believe that the sickness begins much earlier. It begins at the level of our bliss, Anandamaya Kosha. All the yoga students here would understand. And then it affects the state of mind, which is the Manomaya Kosha. And eventually it appears as symptoms in the body, the Annamaya Kosha. So the first sign of sickness is actually the reduction in joy, the reduction in enthusiasm, positive energy, and reduction in our ability to relax, our ability to smile. This is the time when we must work on increasing the level of prana, the life force energy inside of us, along with learn to relax the mind through various techniques of meditation. Breathing techniques like Sudarshan Kriya stabilize our life force and consequently balances the mind. Let me talk about my personal journey. I have little time here, so I thought I'll share with you how I happened to come to yoga and how yoga transformed my life. So when I was back in my college, I suffered from a neurological condition, and I was on a couple of very heavy medications, due to which my academics suffered. And before I even knew, I sunk into depression. Fortunately for me, my neurosurgeon had read about the research on Sudarshan Kriya and its effect on mental well-being. So he sent me on an Art of Living workshop. It has been 24 years since that time. I have never taken a medicine again. The Sudarshan Kriya by Gurudev has not only healed me physically, but it has helped me to find my center and find the purpose of my life. So what Patanjali said many, many years ago about rhythms of the breath and its effect on the human existence is validated in the practice of Sudarshan Kriya today. In fact, last year's Nobel Prize for Medicine also brought to light the impact of rhythms on human existence. This could be maybe the basis of a lot of research in bridging the gap between traditional and modern frameworks of knowledge. So knowledge of pranayama, the breathworks, is like the manual for life. For us to move towards stability of mind, we must understand the basic principles about our life force energy. This is the science of pranayama. As prana stabilizes and rises in the body, one starts to feel a transformation as a direct experience, and it is not any mental forced exercise. One starts to feel happier, creative, and you become more in command of your mind and emotions. So how in India they say swasthya, health is called swasthya, swastha, which means being established in one's nature. So that one who is established in the self is considered a healthy person. And I tell you, meditation is the easiest and the most effective way to reach the self. Rather, meditation means nothing but effortlessly resting in yourself, in your nature, being a witness. There are numerous studies that show how 20 minutes of daily meditation can make you relax and make you positive, decreases blood cortisols and many other things. So I would conclude by saying that yoga is path to realizing your true nature. And when you realize it, the whole world becomes part of you and your family. As Gurudev said, the ancient ideology of our country has been that of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world family. So, with that kind of an understanding, there won't be anyone feeling lonely, anyone feeling at home, full of fear or doubt. And this feeling of oneness can only come when we are not just free from physical ailments, but also from all inhibitions, trauma, fear, and confusions. I call upon everyone to embrace the practices of yoga and make it your way of life. To not just enhance and improve your life, but those around you too. You know, Gurudev always says very beautifully, life is a combination of happiness and pain. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. It's time to turn inwards and find that strength and resilience inside of us. Thank you.